Hello and welcome back. If it's your first time here, I'm Scott.
And I'm Allison.
And today we're jaw-jacking with Jarhead and Ginger.
Today we'd like to start off by saying Happy Veterans Day. And today we're going to talk about our 1-year Nomad anniversary.
We went and picked up our RV on the 9th of November in 2020. So that means we've been in it now just over a year.
This week has been full of big things. On Sunday, my granddaughter got out of the hospital, my little preemie granddaughter, and I got to hold her for the first time, and she was 2 weeks old on Tuesday. Tuesday was the anniversary, the 9th, and of us getting the momentum. The 10th was the Marine Corps birthday. Happy birthday. And today is November 11th, Veterans Day.
Yeah.
We started to do a Veterans Day video because there's this really cool celebration. We got to the area a little bit late, and I would have had to park too far to walk. So we didn't do the Veterans Day celebration, but still we're just honoring the veterans.
That's right. All members of all services, if you've ever served, thank you for your service. Definitely. Veterans Day is not a sad day. It's a day to, thank a veteran. Also, stick around to the end and we'll tell you, if you are a veteran, how you can get a good deal on food. So, go ahead.
Well, it's been a year. What do you think? Are we done?
With this year? No, I think we'll continue for a little while at least.
Yeah, I do too.
If you haven't been around here, our channel, if this is your first time here, we have gone on a big loop pretty much all the way around the U.S. In our momentum. When we first picked it up last November, we brought it straight back here to Texas where we currently are, and we wintered in it here for a while. And then come the springtime, we took off and headed west. We went from here all the way up into the Pacific Northwest, and then we went across the top of the U.S., down into Pennsylvania, down through Georgia, and then all the way back, and now we're back in Texas again. So we put a lot of miles on this thing the first year. Now,
since we're talking about our first year, let's talk about also what led up to our first year. We were in Okinawa, Japan, and his contract was up with the military, working with the military, and we decided to move back to the U.S. and get an RV because we have kids all over the U.S., and we could travel. We said we'd never buy a home again because we lost big on 2 out of 3 of our homes. So this is our home, and it's wherever we want to park it.
Yeah, that was a big area of not knowing what was coming up really for us. When we got back, we didn't have a vehicle. We didn't have a place to stay. We were staying in hotels and Airbnbs and things. We had ordered a truck, but it wasn't in yet, so we were renting a vehicle. And but it all worked itself out. And now here we are a year later talking to you guys about being in an RV for a year. What do you think is the biggest thing we learned in this first year?
Oh boy, be flexible. And we kind of learned that from the Marine Corps. That kind of motto is Semper Gumby, always flexible.
Yeah.
You never know when you're going to have to change your campground location, your campsite, your dates.
Yeah, your reservation dates.
You could have your RV have to go into the shop and you not be able to stay in it in some cases, so you have to find another place to stay. There's just all kinds of things that can come up, and so you have to be flexible.
Absolutely. And what I think it was a big one for me is our pace.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody's different. And we were, at some points, we were only staying for 2 days and then moving on, 2 days and moving on again. That's really easy to get burnt out if you're going that fast. So I think we're wintering now in Texas, but I think for the next coming spring into next fall, we are going to end up moving a lot slower. at least a week, I'm hoping, in each place.
Right. And we don't know for sure which direction we're heading come spring, or even if we will, because that grandbaby is pretty cute, y'all. I don't know if I can bear to leave her, but I'm sure once it gets heated up here in Texas, that we'll be ready to get out and enjoy grandbaby via FaceTime.
Oh yeah, she won't even be talking for another little while anyway. So, but yeah, definitely very cute, very small. She's very small.
So we've had several in our first year. We've had some great times. We've also had some pretty poopy times. What's the worst thing that's happened with our RV this year?
The worst thing for me was the underbelly, the leak that went into the underbelly. And I had to take down the whole underbelly, drop all the insulation, get it all out of there, find the leak, find the part, fix the leak, replace the insulation, and replace the underbelly, all while we were staying with a bunch of friends that I really wanted to go out and have fun with around in the towns, and I just couldn't do it. I had to get the RV fixed so we could get back on the road when it was time to leave that park. Unfortunately, we only had 3 days, I think, there, 3
Right.
or 4 days there, and so I had to get it all done prior to our time being over there, so we didn't have to be flexible again and change our schedules around. How about you?
That was probably the worst repair. We've also had 2 other repairs that he's done. The one was the backflow.
Yeah, backflow preventer valve from our black tank flush. That was the very first time I'd ever used a black tank flush, and it flooded. I mean, I could see it running out when I was in the underbelly, or in my storage bay. So that definitely wasn't a good introduction to black tank flushes. So what was the other one?
The refrigerator.
Oh, that's right.
We had our refrigerator go out this summer up in Washington.
That's right. We had a fan problem. The back of our refrigerator has 3 fans, and when I noticed that the refrigerator wasn't running, I went out, and one of the fans had actually kind of exploded in there, and the blades were laying in the bottom, and I knew there was something wrong at that point. And so we called Grand Design, and they said, you're going to need to replace them, just replace all 3 of them. I ordered all 3, and I still have only gotten 2. The other one is still on back order. But while we were waiting for those fans to come in, I had to come up with a way to get the refrigerator to run. So what I did was I took a small box type fan, and I propped it in the bottom opening up for the refrigerator, and I pointed it upwards towards the top. And I just ran that until the outside temperature got to be about 85 degrees. And then I would shut the refrigerator off, because if I let it run for when it was more than 85 degrees, it would blow the fuse in there that wanted the fans to turn on. I didn't have the fan to turn on, so it blew the fuse. And then when the temperature got back down below 85 in the evening, I'd turn the fan back on, turn the refrigerator back on, crank it up on high. So we lived with that kind of a technique on the refrigerator for about a month, I would say, until I finally got the fans in and was able to get my nephew to come over and help me get that refrigerator out to where I could get to the fans and fix it. So yeah, three pretty good issues in the first year, but luckily we got them fixed.
We also do have a small one. Just our bathroom fan has gone out, just a little tiny piece, and he's going to be fixing that very soon.
Yeah, that should be no problem. What about the top thing, the funnest thing we did, or the greatest thing we saw, or whatever?
Well, I got to go to some states I'd never been to before. I don't think I'd ever been to Montana, or at least never stopped. We may have driven through. Definitely haven't been to North Dakota, Minnesota. So the adventures were fun, but something I liked even more than the adventures were the people that we met along the way. That's my favorite part. I'm a people person, and so just meeting people. If you ever see us in a campground, please say hi. We love to meet people.
For sure, yeah. I'm not as much of a people person as she is. But I would say highlights as far as destinations was probably for me walking across the Mississippi at the headwaters.
That was great. We walked across the Mississippi, y'all.
Yeah, that was really cool there at Itasca Park in Minnesota. But yeah, definitely some of the greatest times we've had is when we've met people at the campsites. And you know, we've come over, especially like other YouTube channels too. We meet another YouTube channel. It's like you're instant friends, no matter if you're a YouTube channel or not, because you have so much in common. You're RVers, right? And that's what we're here in the RV park doing is living in our RVs or just camping in our RVs or whatever that case is. And you know, so you get together and you meet people, and it's go and have a great time.
Harry wants to join the conversation. So another thing that we can add is pets, traveling with pets. One thing that we were concerned about for a long time was the heat and maybe the power going out, the air conditioner not working. And so we worked with WAGGLE. They gave us a WAGGLE device to do a video on it and test it out. And we tested it and did an honest review. So if you're interested in what WAGGLE is it runs not on Wi-Fi, it runs on a Verizon chip so that you can monitor the temperature and the humidity of your RV, and it will alert you if the power goes out. Well, I guess Harry's done now. So, so that was a very valuable tool for us to have peace of mind when we left Harry home in the RV.
Yep, and it's funny because every time it's move day, as soon as we unplug the power from the RV, we get a notification. You've lost power at your RV. So it's a cool thing. If you stuck around this long, let me give you a little tip on dinner tonight. If you're a veteran and you're getting a little hungry because it's about dinner time, on Veterans Day, which is today, the day you're watching this, Google your favorite restaurant around your town. Chances are they have a free veterans meal or a free appetizer and drink or something like that. So there's a little tip. There were several here in Texas. We actually went and ate at Buffalo Wild Wings today, and they had a free veterans deal. And also Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse was actually giving out vouchers. So you would drive through the parking lot, and they had people there. You'd show them your ID, prove you were the veteran, and they'd give you a voucher for a free meal.
Yes, that's awesome. And it can be used for 6 months.
That's right. Yeah. So I've got that in the truck. We're going to have some Texas Roadhouse probably this week or next week, and that's just a really great thing that a lot of the restaurants around your town and ours are doing for veterans on Veterans Day. Well, if you're still here, thanks for sticking around till the end. We'll see you next time on Jaw Jacking with Jarhead and Ginger.
Bye.